We stop now, okay? I go back home.
Okay, beat it.
Yes.
Beat it. Tired of it. I'm not putting up with it. I don't have to.
That didn't go as planned at all, did it, Riley? Riley's plan to have his friend question Violet has completely backfired. Their relationship seems like it's over. I don't think there's any coming back from this.
Nhưng mà anh ta đã hành xử như một đứa con nít và như một thằng tâm thần. Anh ta có xứng đáng là một thằng đàn ông để tôi gửi gắm cả cuộc đời không? Không.
Now, before we dive into everything that happened, let's quickly remind ourselves where we left these two in the last episode. Ironically, it had all been going so well. The pair were on a date. They looked like they were willing to leave their problems behind and start afresh. That was until Riley decided to jump on a video call with his close friend, Tiffanie. And we join them in this episode as Violet is squirming to try and avoid answering Tiffany's question.
Why did you not delete the app?
I talk with you.
No, she asked you.
Now, it's comical that Riley's trying to maintain this illusion that it's not him asking the questions. She asked you, it's Tiffanie, not me. I actually have no problem with him wanting to know the answer to that question. I mean, the lady he thinks he's in a relationship with is still on the dating app that she made him delete. He's entitled to know why. But my issue here is why now? Why is this only being raised now in the middle of a date? A date that, for once, is actually going well.
You kill my feeling tonight.
Correction, a date that was going well. Past tense, because it's all about to change drastically. Now, note how Violet's initial reaction was, let's talk about this just you and me, Riley. Let's not get your friend involved in this.
I talk with you.
No, she asked you.
But Riley maintains this pretense that it's not him asking the question. He says this numerous times.
No, answer her. It has nothing. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with you and Tiffanie.
It's a strange pretense that we can all see through. Violet knows who's really behind this question. And what she doesn't like is this feeling of being ganged up on. Remember, she doesn't feel the need to answer to anyone. Not Riley, and much less some lady she only met a few minutes ago. So now, feeling like she's being attacked, she goes on the offensive. Oh, you want answers, do you? Well, I've got a question for you too, Mr. Riley.
Before I answer her, I just ask you one question.
What?
Why you know I am going to dating, babe? Why?
Answer that one, Riley. Well, he can't, and that's the point. That's what really annoys Violet. He doesn't even bother trying to answer it. He instead says, it wasn't me asking the question. Talk to Tiffanie. This annoys Violet. She's annoyed at the hypocrisy of it. He's also clearly on the app. I mean, how else would he find her? But he's not prepared to give answers. So Violet tries to answer Tiffany's question, albeit not very convincingly.
I delete on phone, but I forgot password on the app.
You forgot to pass.
The app.
Now, this is a confusing response, but what I think she means is she's deleted the app from her phone, and now that she's forgotten the password, she can't log back in to take down her profile. Her profile still remains on the app, but she's saying she no longer has the app on her phone. Of course, the quick and easy way to check this and prove her story is to ask her to pull out her phone. The problem is, we know she's a very secretive person and she doesn't feel the need to have to prove anything to anyone. But when Tiffanie calls her out for her excuse, Violet sees this as a personal attack. She thinks Tiffany's trying to humiliate her. She's accusing her of being a liar. So this is a big problem.
Right there, it seems like that's not the answer is not valid.
Ah, big problem here.
Okay.
You can see from Violet's reaction that she's not happy here. She doesn't like the inference that she's a liar. She sees it as an insult, as Tiffanie trying to humiliate her.
Và để cho người ta xúc phạm, sỉ nhục chà đạp tôi như vậy.
So clearly tensions are running high, but it's Riley's reaction right now that pours fuel on the fire. This really escalates things. He's upset, no, in fact, he's angry that Violet hasn't answered Tiffany's, or should we say his, questions.
and you're mad because you have to answer them. But when your family asks me hard questions and I
you
answer
come
them,
here.
I don't care.
The looks he's giving her, the finger wagging in her face, the aggressive tone in which he's talking to her, it's a lot considering he claimed it wasn't even his question. The truth is, this is everything adding up. This isn't just tonight's incident. Riley's been bottling it in for a while now. This outburst is everything coming to a head. Her secrecy, the fact that she's receiving shirtless selfies from random men, the fact that she's the one in control in this relationship. She's the boss, and he hates it. So this is an argument that's been waiting to happen. It's just a shame that it's happening now. You see, at the best of times, Violet is already a closed book. The way he's going to get answers from her isn't by interrogating her or getting his friend to do it for him. I think he'd actually have had more luck if he had continued to build the bond, to carry on with the date that was going so well, to build that connection. That's how she might have felt more obliged to open up to him. But instead, by adopting this more aggressive approach, it's only ever going to result in one of two possible outcomes. Violet's either going to shut down and want to leave,
We stop talking tonight, okay?
Yo, you know what,
Okay.
Tiff? I'll call you back.
or the other option here is she's going to bite back. And when Riley ends the call with Tiffanie to finally communicate with Violet directly, Violet wastes no time in going straight for the jugular. You see, she already knows that there are certain topics that Riley is quite sensitive about. So that's exactly what she takes aim at.
Oh, you
Did
come to the
something
house.
wrong,
Oh, man.
and I went back to see if you were on the app.
You're not
Do
my
not
boss. Okay.
talk down
I
to
don't
me.
talk with you. Okay.
Now, thanks to that old man comment, they both feel like they've been insulted. Now, let's just touch upon what Riley had to say. So, he claimed that he was only on the app to check up on her, which in itself says a lot about the trust that these two have. I mean, why the heck would he remain in a relationship and fly thousands of miles to meet a lady that he doesn't trust at all? That in itself says a lot about him, I think.
This is another instance where I don't believe anything she's saying. I really want to trust her, but this is a major red flag for me.
You really want to trust her, but you don't trust her. So there's no relationship here, and that's the truth. And when Violet announces that she's had enough and she's going to leave now, from Riley's response, we can see that he knows this is the end. There's no way their relationship is strong enough to come back from this.
I go back home.
Okay, beat it.
Yes.
Beat it.
You say I
Bye.
get married with
Bye.
you, not your family.
It's her way or the highway. And you know what? I'm not putting up with it. I don't have to.
The her way or the highway comment just reiterates what we all knew. He may have pretended he was okay with her being the boss, but really he wasn't. He expected things his way. He expected answers on his timeline, and he demanded trust even though it clearly wasn't mutual. But ultimately he didn't account for the fact that Violet is an independent lady. She's not the kind of lady to just fall into line, as Riley seems to want. And for what it's worth, she still maintains she's done nothing wrong. Neither he nor Tiffanie had any right to ambush her like they did.
Thì không sai một cái gì hết. Tại sao phải bắt tao phải trả lời cái câu hỏi đó? Nó không có cái quyền đó và nó rất là mất lịch sự, gọi là dùng từ mất dạy và thô lỗ.
Both feel that the other has been out of line. Yet neither are willing to take personal accountability. They both have their faults. They both played a role in the breakdown of this relationship, if you can ever call it that. The only thing that they can both agree on is that this marks the end.
Nhưng mà anh ta đã hành xử như một đứa con nít và như một thằng tâm thần. Anh ta có xứng đáng là một thằng đàn ông để tôi gửi gắm cả cuộc đời không? Không.
What Violet just said, I think, was quite revealing. We could all see that she didn't trust him to begin with. She had her guard up, but she wanted to see if little by little he could gain her trust. Could he become a man worthy of her entrusting her life to? That was never something that would happen quickly. It was never going to happen on Riley's timeline. But Now that's it. There is no more getting to know each other.
It was the last straw for me. I'm done.